Hey guys, I hope you guys are having a great fall break. If you're watching year 2020, then you are coming back from fall break at this point. If you're watching later than that year, then I don't know where you're at. So I hope you're having a great day overall. But today we're going to talk about the difference between the verbs ser and estar. The reason why our Spanish teachers make such a big deal about these verbs is because one, they're probably the most important verbs in the entire language, just like it is in English. And two, they both mean the same thing, so you have to be very aware how to work them because you might be saying the wrong thing when you're meaning something else. So here's the deal. I am going to start this over because I put my present. I don't know why I started my presentation, on the last slide, but here we go. So the verb said versus estar. And there's a kind of funny phrase that you guys probably recognize from your English classes: to be or not to be. Okay? Said and estar both mean to be. They're the to be verbs in English. What does to be even mean? Well, to be is your being, right? It's who you are. It's everything about being, right? Existing. So for you to be able to express yourself correctly, you have to be familiar with both to be's in Spanish, ser and estar. So let's start with the forms before we get into the depthness of this verb or these verbs. Let's talk about the forms and then we'll talk about when to use them. So, ser, I would like you to repeat after me. Soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. Okay? So I am is soy, yo soy. You are, tú eres, right? He is, él es. And you can say she is, ella es. You can say you are formal, usted es. And then just it is would be es. We are, nosotros somos, right? Y'all in Spain are, vosotros sois. And they are, can be they the girls or they the guys, ellos son or ellas son. Okay? Now the verb estar, I would like you to repeat the forms with me. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, and están, right? And in English, guess what? They mean the same thing as ser, okay? So I am, yo estoy. You are, sorry, the dogs, tú estás. He is or she is or you formal, él está, ella está, usted está. We are, nosotros somos. I'm sorry, estamos, because we're talking about estar, right? We are. Y'all are in Spain, vosotros estáis. And they are, ellos están. You guys are, ustedes están. They all use the same form, okay? So, estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. We have already learned that there are two to be verbs in Spanish, and here are along the conjugations. Please write them down along with your translation. So I would like you to take notes of this. I'm not going to be checking it. It's just perfectly done for you and you only, okay? So this is notes for you. Do you remember to use, or how do I remember what and when to use ser or star? So you're going to use the acronyms doctor and place. The following slides will show you how to use them and what they stand for. Okay, so ser, the general rule, here it is. Ser is used to classify and identify permanent or lasting attributes. Say, if the general rule isn't specific enough for you, think of the acronym DOCTOR, which stands for description, occupation, characteristic, time, origin, ownership with de, and relationships. So if you cannot remember that you use ser for permanent or long-lasting things, then try to remember the acronym DOCTOR: description, occupation, characteristics, time, origin, or ownership, and relationships. As with any rule, there may be exceptions to the permanent versus temporary state of being, but it is a place to start when deciding which verb to use in Spanish, okay? So again, ser is used for many things: describing people, occupations, identifying. You use ser for a lot of things. So D in doctor for ser, it says, for description, think of what you would say if someone asked you, what's he like? These are the essential qualities that define a person and probably won't change. They can be a name or a physical description. Yo soy Raúl. I'm describing myself or identifying myself as Raúl. Yo soy baja, pelirroja y seria. Right? I'm describing myself as short, as a redhead, and serious. So these are all things that will always be me, right? My name isn't Raul, but that is an example, right? And when you're going to describe who you are, you're going to use soy, I am, or eres if you're describing you, somebody else, es if you're describing him or her, and thereon, pick a form. O is for occupation. They are seen as lifelong careers and are therefore seen as more permanent than many people would think in the US. Like, for example, your occupation being a teacher. One day I will retire, but for now, for a very long time, I'm a teacher. Soy maestra de español, right? You guys, or let's talk about they, the group, they, the people, right? They are students. Someday they'll graduate and won't be students, but for a very long time, they're going to be students. So I say, ellos son estudiantes. My dad is a waiter, okay? He may one day be something else, but for right now, as for a long time, he will be a waiter. So mi padre es camarero, okay? Or you can call him mesero as well. Notice that the indefinite articles, una, unos, and unas are omitted when describing an occupation with the verb ser, okay? Soy maestra, tú eres estudiante, nosotros somos inteligentes, right? But occupation, nosotros somos, we can say, I don't know, trabajadores, right? We are hard workers. We're describing, and we talked about our occupation. Being a student is occupation. C is for characteristics and doctor for ser. Characteristics are personality descriptions of a person. These would probably be like a second thing you say to what she's like, right? Amalia es inteligente, bonita, amable. So you have inteligente, that's a characteristic, right? Amable, friendly, that's a characteristic. Mi esposo es romántico y cariñoso. My husband is, right? He is romántico, romantic, and cariñoso, caring. So these are all characteristics of this person. It kind of falls with the D in description. T is for time. Time includes days, dates, and hours. For hours, use S for 1 o'clock and son for all the other hours. Okay, so if it's 1 o'clock singular, es la una, 2 o'clock or later, which is plural, 2 or more, son las, whatever time it is. So dates and times, here it is. Hoy es lunes, today is Monday, el 27 de febrero. All right, today is Monday, February 17th, which is not real date, but mañana es mi cumpleaños. Tomorrow is my birthday. Ahora, right now, ahora es la 1:30, right? Right now it's 1:30 time. Son las 5:25. It's 5:25. So notice we're using the forms of ser to tell time and for the dates. We use the second O in ser of doctor to show ownership or origin. Okay, since the place a person is from or the material something is made of does not change, we use ser for origin. So even though you're thinking like, you know, a place can be temporary, you will always be from wherever you're from, right? You can move wherever around the world, but you will always be from a certain place. So ser, like we said earlier, is way more permanent. So therefore, you're going to use ser in when you're talking about your origin and also what things are made of, right? Possession and what things are made of, like tables made of wood. Tomorrow, it's not going to be made of plastic. That table is always going to be made of wood. So that's permanent, and therefore you're using a form of ser, okay? Example, Celia es de España. Celia is from Spain. Adela es mexicana. Adela is Mexican, right? They're showing where they're from. Mi anillo, my ring, es de oro. My ring is gold, okay? Es de is of gold, right? Translated literally, but normal English, my ring is gold. We also use ser de to show ownership. Okay, this is very important because a lot of us do not understand this. We tend to say grandpa's house, la casa. You would say grandpa's casa or abuelo's casa. No, guys, no. The apostrophe S does not exist in Spanish. Okay, the possessive apostrophe S doesn't happen in Spanish. You use de and you go backwards. So here's an example. El refresco, remember what refresco meant? Soda. El refresco es de Aspen. Okay, the soda is of Aspen. It's his. Okay, that's the way we show possession in Spanish. Este plato, this plate, es de Madison. Okay, this plate is of Madison. It's of her, right? She owns it. Okay, think of it like that. Son las uvas de Evan. Uvas quiere decir grapes. So they are, son, right? The grapes of Evan. You don't say Evan's uvas, okay? Can't do that. Las uvas de Evan. R in doctor is for relationships. Relationships are described with the verb ser. So Lynn es mi madre, Marcos es mi exnovio, Andres es mi hermano. So I identify Lynn as my mother, Marcos as my ex-boyfriend, and Andres as my brother. Okay, so when I identify people, I have relationships, who they are to me, I use the verb ser, the form of it, according to who, how many people. Now, let's talk about Estar. Estar is the place to be. Okay, remember that. General rule of Estar. It is used to talk about temporary states and locations. States of being is what I mean. If the general rule doesn't suffice, think of the acronym PLACE, which stands for position, location, action, condition, and emotion. Okay, so think of ser as this more permanent thing and Estar as it being more temporary. Okay, it's not as long lasting. So P for position. Position is the physical position or posture a person or thing is in. Okay, physically, where is this thing? I'm going to use Estar. Okay, mi abuela está sentada. Remember, siéntese, the command, sit down. So my grandma is sitting. Where is she? What is her posture? What is her position? She is sitting. Therefore, I'm using estar. Mi abuela está. El libro está debajo de la mesa. Okay, the book is under the table. Where is this book? It's under something. It's located under, it's positioned under something. Therefore, I'm using estar, a form of estar. Está. So here's your prepositions of place, which we're going to get into later in another lesson. But these are just some prepositions for you to start being aware of. Arriba de, fuera de, lejos de, al lado de, next to. These are all just location prepositions, okay? Position prepositions. Inside, under, in front of, on top, outside, above, behind, next to, far from, near to, in between, things like that. These are all prepositions of position, or I call them location, where things are. You're going to see that you're going to use estar with these prepositions in the future. Estar is the place to be. L is for location. Remember, L for location. The location of where someone or something describes where it's permanently, temporarily, actually, or conceptually, no matter what. El baño está al lado de la cafetería. The bathroom is next to the cafeteria. Where is it? Next to the cafeteria. Where is it located? Next to the cafeteria. Okay, I'm using estar, está. Estamos en el café ahora y vamos a estar en el cine en 20 minutos. So we are at the cafe ahora, right now. Y vamos a estar en el cine. We're going to be at the movies in 20 minutes. Okay, so I use estar. Estamos. We are at the cafe right now. Okay, let's say you're calling me, asking me where I'm at because we're supposed to go out to the movies. We're at the cafe right now. We'll be in there in 20. Okay, I use estar. And last example, sorry I didn't bold it. Madrid está en España. Madrid is in Spain. Where is Madrid located? It's located in Spain. Because I'm talking about its location, I'm using está. Okay. A is for action. Estar is used to describe an ongoing action using the present progressive. Okay, and we're going to learn about the present progressive later, but I am washing dirty plates. Estoy lavando, right, where you take action. I am washing. Estamos leyendo, we are reading. Okay, you'll learn how to do these later, but just have it in mind when there's some kind of action happening. Okay, we are and we're doing something, we're having some kind of action happening, then we use estar. This is sad. A sad example. I'm so sorry. Mi bisabuelo está muriendo. My great grandpa is dying. Okay. So it's something is happening. I use estar. It's his condition, right? It's what's happening to him. So I use estar. In this case, está for he. C is for condition. Physical and mental conditions are described using estar. Estoy tan cansada esta mañana. I am so tired this morning, right? What is my condition? I'm tired. Mis niños están enfermos hoy. My children are sick today. How are they today? They are sick, right? It's their condition. Mi madre está un poco loca. My mom is acting a little crazy. She is a bit crazy, okay? Like every teenager would say about their mom. But what is her condition in this moment? Mom is going crazy. Okay, so I use estar. Another example that's not on here that I wanted to talk to you about is about, let's say, a book. Okay, the condition of the book. The book is what? Open, right? El libro está abierto. So why am I using está? Can you tell me? Am I describing what the book is like? Am I describing its physical aspects or attributes? Am I describing the book's character? Am I describing anything physical about or permanent about this book? No. I'm describing it temporarily, what its state of being is, right? What is its condition? Right now, the book's condition is open. Hey, babies. Thank you. Mia. Sorry. So if I close this book, right, very temporary, because immediately I can just close it. It's not permanent. The book is closed. El libro está cerrado. The condition of this book is closed. I'm not describing the book. I'm not saying the book is large and the book is pretty and the book is pink and orange and blue. I'm not doing that. I'm saying the temporary condition of it, right? Closed and open. So I'm using estar for that. Okay, and last, estar is E for emotion in the place acronym. How a person is feeling at a certain moment is described using estar. Emotions can change, right? You're not going to always feel the same way forever. Constantly, your emotions are changing, therefore they're temporary. And because they're temporary, you're going to use estar. Like I said, how a person is feeling, right? Oops. Estoy triste. I am sad. Ella está contenta porque recibió unas flores de su novio. She is content or happy because she received some flowers from her boyfriend, right? She is happy. I am sad. They are depressed. We are excited, okay? All these are feelings. So when I use emotions and feelings, I'm going to use a form of estar. Now, use Dr. Ser to remember the SARE acronyms. Or use estar as the place to be to remember the place acronyms for estar. If everything fails, just remember this. How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. Everything else, go with SARE. Okay, I hope you have learned something today, and if you have any questions, you can always send me a text and let me know what you're thinking, or if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you have a great, sorry, my dog, have a great rest of your night or day, and hasta luego.